authenticity, being genuine. I feel like you adjust to the guest.
Yeah.
I used to do pre-records. I used to do lives. And my wife was like, nah, just do pre-records. I'm like, no, because that means I got to go back and edit. It's going to take this much time. I didn't want to do that. So that probably was me being lazy, but it's too many issues with lives. And I couldn't get a decent live stream.
Yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong. You know, I've been on before and I'm doing my little spiel and I'm thinking, people are rapping with me and all of a sudden, and you know, there's a delay with the lives.
Yep.
So about 15, 30 seconds in, I hear people chat, we can't hear you. I'm like, oh. So then, you know, I gotta see what's going on with the audio and get it right. But I think in this day and age, a lot of people, they understand that, you know, there's some technical stuff that happens from time to time, as long as it's not a reoccurring thing. So.
Yeah. Everything that could go wrong with a live went wrong with me. Everything. I had lives end. I would go live for like 10 minutes and it would just end.
Well, what were you talking about? Like, what was your lives about?
The show, it was the sit down.
Oh, the sit down used to do live.
Yep.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. See, that's
It was, dude.
On location?
On location.
Yeah.
So guests would show up, we're doing our thing, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
There was at one point, we had a guest, and for like an hour straight, I was trying to figure out how to fix this thing. Man. And it wasn't working. He was so patient, man. It was a blessing. He was patient, but I'm like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
So we already told everybody that there's not going to be an episode.
Okay.
Now I'm just trying to figure out what the problem is.
Was.
And man, then she was like, just do pre-records, and I was like, I work full time, family thing. Editing this is going to take some time, and sure enough, it did. But doing the pre-records, it has been better.
Yeah.
Easy to
You can mitigate those risks that are associated with going live.
Yeah.
Right. Bandwidth.
Yeah.
Stability.
Yes.
You know, all of those issues kind of go away. So.
Yeah. And you have to be hardwired in. Like.
Yep.
You can go Wi-Fi. I did Wi-Fi a couple times, but like hardwiring in is way better than doing the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then when we were on location, I couldn't hardwire in.
Yeah, that's true, because you're at a different spot.
It was just a lot. So, but now with the pre-records, it's a whole lot better. I like it better. And then people that were with me during the lives, I invited them back for the pre-record.
Okay, that's dope, to do an actual pre-recorded show.
Because it's like scheduling, because you got to schedule it out so you can drop it was a lot, but it's a whole lot better now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So when I start, my show, and get to that point where I get a location and it's not like a virtual guest. Right now mine are virtual.
Yeah.
I'm debating about, hey, do I want to stick with the live? Because I know all that goes into it.
Yeah. Or
do I want to transition to do pre-records? I haven't made that decision yet. I like the live fact because with what I do, I invite questions live. So, I'm interacting with the audience. And so doing the lives gives me the opportunity, and I do that because I know I might have questions, but if you're going to sit down and you're going to spend 30 minutes listening to me and my guests talk, let's ask or answer those questions that are near and dear to you specifically. So I don't really want to lose that element.
Yeah.
So that's why I say maybe it'll be a combination of both. I'm not tied to one.
Yeah.
I could do both, but we'll see.
So, and you're going to do camera angles, right? So you're going to have that switchboard.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to play with so bad, because I did it at my church. I would do the lives media at my church I was at before. And I would sit back there and run the camera, and I've always wanted to run a live event, because I did event and show setup. That's what got me doing all of this.
Okay.
So I had that experience in me. So when it got to this, I already knew where I wanted to go.
Right.
So, but I've done it before in my past, so I had the luxury of saying, okay, I need lighting here, I need this. So I already knew that. But I've never had the opportunity to man the board at a live show. I want to, man. If somebody want to get me to do it, I'll do it.
They pay you to do it?
Man, I want to do one. I really want to do one, man.
I'm telling you, so the software that I use, Ecamm Live, allows me to do that.
Yeah.
In my studio setup, I can set up multiple cameras, angles, and it's just me, of course. Right. Sometimes I have a live guest in person that'll come, And just with the flip of a switch, I go to a different shot while we're live.
Yeah.
I would just set my iPad next to me. So my iPad has my notes, but it also has the switcher. So then I can switch and it can zoom in on you or my guest while he's driving home a point, right? You know, he's getting everybody emotional, and then I can switch back to that shot, that wide shot of all of us. So like I say, it's one of those things that I didn't start out in life to do media production or anything like this.
Really?
No. My wife and I, we were leading our marriage and family network called You Before Me, and we were using our phones to go live, you know, and we're like trying to get right up on each other, you know, to make sure we're both in the shot, and then we went out and got like lapel mics, and then it just continued to grow and evolve, and now it's turned into what you see now.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
I remember,
intro, outro with a commercial.
When we did our call, he was like, is this going to be a video call? I'm like, dang it, it's going to be a video call? So you video call me. I'm like, this dude has a whole thing going. Like, you had a whole situation going on. And I'm just sitting.
I think I had on headphones. I had my podcast mic.
You had everything going. But I'm going to tell you what, like, that excites me because you were in your element, man.
Yeah.
Like for me, seeing a person in their element, like that excites me, whether they're creating or not, whether it's content creation or not. Like just seeing a person in their element, because like seeing them do their thing and be free to be them, man, it kind of makes you feel like, dang, so I could do me.
Yeah.
So you had your whole thing going on. I'm just sitting in this office just talking to you, but I was like, he's in his element, man.
Yep.
But that's really cool. You talked a little bit about, you know, where you grew from, like doing the phone things. So I want to hear you talk a little bit about like, I was just going over this with my wife. Like for us, when we started, for me, it was just, I told my wife, I said, hey, I want to shoot a music video.
Okay.
No, we had anything. I had a cell phone.
Okay.
I had an Android. And I got delivered now. I'm Apple now. But I had an Android. We go to the Walmart parking lot down the street.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, babe, shoot this music video.
Well, Walmart be packed, man. People be zipping through parking lots like you putting your life in danger shooting the video.
Dude, it was like 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock. We went to like the back of the parking lot.
Okay.
And all we had like, the video's out there, it's there. We had like the headlights to the truck.
Okay.
And I'm just in front of there. And we did a whole music video.
You're like, big timers get your roll on. You in the middle with the headlights flashing on you.
And that's what we did. So like, it's crazy because when I go back and watch that stuff, I'm like, man, and I did 3 music videos on my cell phone.
Okay.
Before I got the Canon.
Gotcha.
Before somebody blessed me with the Canon. He was like, dude, in my mind, I'm thinking, I just got to get this dude a camera. If he get a camera in his hand, he's going to go crazy with it. And I did.
Nice.
I got that camera and went crazy. And my wife was just, she's never done nothing like that before. I said, just hold the cell phone, baby.
You right.
Hey, man. And we did it.
What about audio? You just
it was a music video.
Where you using? Oh, so
I had a
track that you was going to put over.
Yeah, so I put the track over it. So the track was good because we had the whole studio, so I was able to mix and master it.
Gotcha.
Pretty decent. But cell phone, man.
Man, I get asked all the time about cameras. What camera should I use, Charles? What are you doing with your lighting? What microphone should I use? And I do consultations for people. And the first thing I ask them is, what equipment do you already have? If you've been prolonging going live, sharing your content, becoming a content creator because you're waiting to get a big setup like you see everybody have, especially this day and age, COVID has made that shift. So everybody is like jumping in the live stream world, 35% increase last year, right?
Wow.
So all of the camera equipment that was basic, it couldn't stay on the shelf last year. So you got a message that you want to get out and you're waiting to have all of the right equipment. I ask them first, what do you already have? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say they have a cell phone. Some may even say, oh, I got an old camera that, my mom passed down to me or something. I say, start there.
Yep.
Start right there, because what you need to do is get used to just being in front of the camera.
Yep.
selfie mode, maybe not, flip it around and use your other side. Just look at the lens, right? Because you don't necessarily need it yourself. You need to get used to looking in the camera. Start with your cell phone. I would recommend getting a lapel mic so they have good audio.
Yeah.
But I would tell them to start there. Now, if they say they got, a budget and they want to go out and get some equipment, you still got to start basic because you got to know how to work that stuff. So I too go back and look at those old videos that we did on our cell phones. And I use them when I have a talk and somebody is like interviewing me about my new setup. I always show an old picture of where I started because I don't want me to forget that. But then I also want folks to know that, hey, it's been a journey for me. I started this in 2014. So
it's definitely been a journey. I go back and look at that stuff. It's inspiring because it's just like the thing that I literally I was going over it today. And the thing that I said, you see when you watch that, because a lot of times your beginnings are not for the fans.
No.
Where you start at is not for your fans because you're not getting the views.
No.
You're not getting the engagements and interactions. It's not about that at that point. And I told my wife that too when we were doing this. I said, right now it's not about views. It's not about the people right now. This is about us moving in this.
Yeah.
And when I go back and look and I'm like, because the quality is not good.
No.
Like, I think I was getting like 720p because Facebook was compressing my live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Facebook would compress my live to 720p. I didn't have a microphone, so I had the Canon. So I'm doing the live with just the Canon camera's audio. Then I had my studio mic. I had a whole thing going on, a whole thing. But at that point, it's like a test of your determination, your consistency. Are you going to do it? Like what you were saying, if you're postponing putting your content out there because of what it looks like and what it may appear like and sound like, then you're doing yourself a disservice because, you have to be committed to putting out your content no matter what it looks like.
There you go.
It's more about the content. And then once you start doing that, then you don't know what you need until you know what you need.
Yeah, until you start.
So when you start doing it, then it's like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need this.
And then those decisions are more, you can be intentional about it. Right?
Facts.
And I like what you said, though, about the beginning process is not for the people, not for the followers, not for the fans.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, man, because I'm a firm believer that anytime we set out to build something or create something, say you have a vision for something, like you see yourself doing something, or maybe God gives you a vision and a promise and say, hey, you can be this. And you take off and you hit the ground running, thinking that you're going to go from not doing anything that is close to it to now reaching this mountaintop. And it doesn't work like that. There's going to be a process because you have to be prepared for that place that you're getting ready to go to. You have to have the character development. You have to have the determination and the commitment to be able to go through those tough times to enjoy the success of seeing that vision come to life, right? And enjoy that platform. And a lot of times we want to skip through that middle part. We want to skip through that process. But the process is vital because it's not just about what you're getting ready to do. It's about who you're getting ready to become and who you're becoming. And so when I get in front of the camera and I start talking and I start teaching, a lot of the stuff that I teach, I've already lived and I experienced, whether it's just media and how to do a Facebook Live, or if it's more deep and it's spiritual and it's life and purpose, I've already experienced those things. You've already experienced having just a camera in a Walmart parking lot, your cell phone, and creating a video. So when you sit down and tell somebody else how to set up a media studio or how to have a sit-down conversation, right? Like I'm pretty sure you'll be able to help me with. You've been there and you've experienced that, and that process allows you to be able to talk from this place of lived experience. And I don't think there's anything more valuable than a lived experience when you open your mouth and share it with somebody.
Because it comes from somewhere. I think a lot of times, and I say this a lot, when people see what you're doing or they see what someone else is doing, it's like, oh man, I want to do that, or I can do that. Like I told you in the elevator up here, everyone was doing podcasting. We came from radio. We started in radio. That's where my communication started in radio. And my wife was like, man, you should do this. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I'm introverted first. When I was performing music, I'll go up there, do my songs, and I'm out.
There you go.
I'm out. I wouldn't stick around. don't come talk to me, don't tell me good job. Then I had to get used to being a good job.
You
I'm
had
like,
to get
okay,
used to
thank you.
that,
I gotta
right,
get used to
right,
that because I'm
right.
like, yo, I'm just here to do music.
Right.
But I mean, I had to learn that when you put yourself out there to the public, you're literally out there for the public.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Either you're gonna serve them or not. You can't just do one part of it. You got to take on the whole responsibility of being this public figure. So I had to get used to that. I had to get used to hearing all of that stuff.